probably in many ways, living the climber's dream, right? Owning your own gym, right? Like that's something a lot of climbers think about. Like, oh man, I know I did. I tried to buy a gym once, but anyways, what's it like?
Yeah, I mean it's a double-edged sword. It's exciting and super stressful. Super convenient to have it right next to where my financial practice is, so I can just walk next door and work out and climb and see how things are going. But I think it's really fun, but it also comes with its share of pain and stress as well, for sure.
You opened up in June or July?
Yeah, June 3rd was the opening date.
When did you have the concept? When were you like, okay, we're doing this? Talk to the wife. Did she convince you? Did you convince her?
That's something we were actually talking about this past weekend of when we actually wanted to start. And I think it was like right before COVID, so like 3 or 4 years ago. And we owned a campground up in Jasper, and we were a big part of that community, and it was a lot of fun. Sold that and bought a building that was a big transmission shop, and it was kind of one of those things was like, what are we going to do with this transmission shop? Because it was old, it was nasty, it was run down. And I was like, it would be really cool to make this a bouldering gym. And that idea just kind of floated for a little bit. And then doors just started opening up in that direction to where it was like, okay, I actually think this is something that could work out. And I guess 3 years later, I just kind of blossomed and ended up being able to create the gym that I wanted to be a member of. There wasn't a climbing gym in Conway, and wanted something close to where I lived, close to where I worked, and that's kind of how it came to be about.
Nice. Have you seen a lot of new climbers coming to the gym too and getting into it for the first time?
Man, that's been one of the coolest things about it. Is I remember the first time I went in climbing was at the Hendricks climbing wall, which is now shut down. They don't have it open anymore. But when I first went in there, and I can remember like climbing with John Robb, who's just one of my very best friends now, and I was so excited. And I left there, and I could barely hold on to the steering wheel because my hands hurt so bad, and I just couldn't wait to get there the next time. And I've seen that probably the majority of our members are climbers that started climbing at Climb Conway. So it's really cool to see that. So much torn up flesh. It's amazing. Lost skin for sure.
Everyone driving home with the extreme forearm pump. They're just like, I can barely hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you made any, like with the college there, what's the college there in Conway called?
So there's three. There's Hendricks, UCA, and CBC. Okay. And I've got really pretty good connections with Hendricks and UCA. They're both both of those colleges are trying to put together like a club, and then use Climb Conway as like a practice area for their club team. So
that's awesome. Did you ever climb at the wall here in Russellville?
I tried one time. One time I was up in Russellville working, and I had some time on my hands, and I went there, and it just happened to be like an hour when it was closed. And so I never got to, and I really wanted to because I heard good things about it, but I never actually got to go in.
Well, I'll kind of tell you the history of it in a nutshell because it's super, I think, interesting. I think back in like the early 2010s, 2012, 2013, that's when a couple of local people built it. And I was completely unaware of it for a long time until I got into college because Tech had a program where you could go and get a free pass. Mm-hmm. You check out a free pass, you go to the wall, they let you climb for free. So that was kind of like my gateway into it all. It was an awesome time. And then COVID was the real killer of the gym, to be honest. That's when just the money, Tech pulled that, and that's where I think a lot of their revenue was coming from. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but they pulled that deal out of there, and I don't know how old I was. I guess I was probably 20 then. Thankfully, I did not do this, but I was very much so like talking to the owner about it, looking at pulling out a loan to like buy the gym because it was like, it would have been a bad move. But unfortunately, like I'm really glad you guys came around because now you are the closest gym to Russellville.
Awesome,
right?
Yeah.
And Russellville just doesn't have. It has the climbers, but I don't think it has a player that's really interested in. You got to build a whole new one because that building was on a floodplain. There were a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of people traveling from, like, what's the farthest you see people consistently traveling from? Because Little Rock has Little Rocks,
Yeah.
and that kind of covers that base.
Yeah, I think we got quite a few people that come from Little Rock, but I think I've got there's some people who come. A guy actually came from Whitehall, and he was like setting routes with me this last weekend because he's just big enthusiast into creating routes himself, and he comes on a pretty regular basis. I think some people a lot of people use both Little Rock Climbing Center and Climb Conway because Little Rock Climbing Center is primarily ropes. So there's, that sometimes there's people who feel more comfortable with a rope, and then there's some people who like hard bouldering, and so you kind of get both. And some people like both. Like me, I like climbing on ropes. I also like bouldering. So if I want to do rope climbing, I'm usually going to go to Little Rock Climbing Center. Whereas I'm going to use my gym for like bouldering or training or something like that.
Yeah, is your gym soft or how do you?
Most people say it's stiff. Most people say it's like outside grading hard. I don't believe in soft grading.
I like that, because it can build up the sense of false confidence.
Yes.
You're like crushing V5 in the gym.
Well, because
you go outside and a VB just destroys you.
Exactly. Like we want to start doing like a gym to crag, and if you got like soft grading where people are like flashing V4s and V5s and they go outside and they can't climb a V2, that's fairly discouraging as a climber. That happened to me, I was like. It's like, man, I'm really strong. I can send a V6 indoors. And I went outside and I'm like, I can't even get halfway through this V4. It's really depressing the first time that happened. So
how do you keep things fresh? Like that was a problem our old gym had. It's just fresh routes.
Yeah, we've got a really cool system. So I hired a guy out of Colorado, like a V13, V14 climber who he works at Tension Climbing. His name's Roy Quanstrom. Really cool guy. Really enjoyed hanging out with him. But he set up an Excel sheet program that has, it's epic. It is like color grades. It's obsessive compulsive disorder to a T, which I have it as well. So I really appreciate it. But it basically like creates this algorithm and this bell curve to where if you're a newer climbing community, you want the top of your bell curve to be like V3, V4. You don't want to have a bunch of V8s that no one's going to be able to climb or appreciate. So he created this whole thing for us, and we've just kind of adopted that and used that the entire time. And so far, it's been great. But I think part of the keeping things fresh is using other people to set routes, because I set a certain style. My head route setter, Nick, he sets a certain style, and bringing other people in just to throw up, 2, 3, 4 routes each month or something like that, just to give some variety. I think that's been the biggest key for us.
Yeah. Sometimes, you get that tall person beta going on. How tall are you?
That's true. Yeah. So I'm 6 foot and I have a +4 ape index. And then Nick is like 6'3" and has like a +3 ape index. So we have like a lot of stretchy routes in there. So it's really good to bring someone who can bring it down a little bit and tell us where we're hurting ourselves. Cause definitely the biggest feedback we've had on our routes is that they are hard for shorter people.
Mm-hmm. If you have like a new member who maybe they're not new to climbing, but they're new to Climb Conway, and they kind of have this desire, this dream to set some routes, how should they just approach you about it? Just ask, or do you have something set up already?
Yeah, honestly, that's the way it's been done. The guys that I've had set with me are basically, they just pestered me until I told them to bring it on and we set together. I'm very protective of like my setting room. I like everything to be in its spot and stuff like that. So I like to be there and make sure everything's kind of put back in the way that it should be and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, basically if you have a passion for it, just pester me. And then if it works out where we can align schedules, maybe we'll set a route together and see how it goes.
Speaking of passions, Matt, thank you for helping me with my goal.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've been following you. I've been excited to see it.
It feels like, I guess in hindsight, it hasn't been that long, but at the beginning of this year, probably around like April, is when I watched this 10-year-old video of people. I haven't really talked about this publicly, so I'll talk about it now. But suspending a rock climbing wall below a hot air balloon. So I texted my friend who's a balloon pilot, and you met Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Texted Robert, and I was like, "Can we do this?" and that it started the conversation. And we've been looking at the specs. We've been talking about it. We've assembled our crew. For the longest time, it's just been a question of how we building the wall.
Yeah.
We figured it out now. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use those beautiful, they're beautiful Waltopia. All your walls are beautiful. I want to talk about Waltopia too, but those are a little too heavy. So we're going to, of course, give those back to you. And if that's okay, we're still going to use the holds.
Yeah, you bet.
And, get y'all incorporated in it, because it's just, you're one of the only people that after telling this idea to you actually wanted to help. Other people, they're just look at me. They're like, what? What are you trying to do?
I definitely, whenever my wife first told me about it, I definitely looked at her like that, and I was like, what's going on there? But then I was like, if that's such an easy way to help someone achieve a goal that they have, like, why not? Why wouldn't you help somebody? There's been so many people who have helped me get to where I'm at, and I'm so grateful to them. Like, if there's someone who has a passion or a dream, and I can just like easily loan them a couple panels and a few holds, like, heck yeah, I'm happy to do that for sure.
Thanks, man. I'm stoked to see it happen, and it's looking like this year we'll be able to.
It'll be this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Year, it's looking in the next month or so. We just have to.
Man, I've been watching your videos, and congratulations. So it looked like you got like an achievement with base jumping or parachuting, something like that.
Skydiving. Haven't tried base jumping.
Okay.
And if my wife's listening to this, she's like, "You're never gonna try base jumping." Once my son's 18, then I will try it. I only want the only thing I have in my sights is El Cap. It's tall, and the thing about base jumping is the shorter the more dangerous, because you have less time.
Yeah.
So El Cap's tall. That's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah, tall, but I thought it was illegal to base jump out there, so you gotta pack it up and run out as fast as you can. It is absolutely. Yep, you get a getaway driver. From people I've talked to that have done it, they say you do it at dawn or dusk, and you get out of there. Yeah,
you don't. The rangers kind of know about it, from my understanding. It's just kind of like, as long as you do it, get out, and you're not like making a big show of it in the middle of the day, because then they're going to crack down on you hard.
Yeah, yeah. So how long before you can do that? How long before your kid turns 18?
Yeah, 15 years.
15 years. Okay, that's the same for me. So I'll do it with you. If we our kids will turn 18 at the same time, and then we can.
So are you going to try skydiving before then?
Oh yeah. Awesome. I've wanted to for forever. It's just the stars haven't aligned for me, but I've always wanted to. Like, I've known, like, eventually I'm going to make it a priority and do it.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too. One day, the money was there to kind of like invest in the course, and then the wife was okay with it. So I got it done. So that achievement was the C license. In skydiving, you have 4 licenses: A, B, C, D. A is your first one.
Mm-hmm.
B, and then C is 200 jumps plus a few other criteria, a few accuracy jumps. And I've been having a lot more fun with it recently, because I met a friend who's a pilot, and we just kind of, sometimes we do our own thing, during the week, and it's a good time. But speaking about Waltopia, like, was there a debate on how you were going to build the gym at some point, or did you always know, like, okay, Waltopia, they do a good job, I'm going with them?
No, there was, we sourced, I think, 3 different climbing wall companies, all of which are outside of the United States. I automatically wanted Waltopia because I've been to Waltopia gyms, and every time I go to Waltopia gym, I'm like, these are legit walls. I love this. But they're manufactured in Bulgaria, and it's expensive, and shipping is incredibly expensive on that stuff, because they basically build it all in Bulgaria, assemble it, then deassemble it, put it on a shipping container, ship it over here, and reassemble it on location. So the shipping cost for the walls, I think, was like $40,000 or something like that. Like, it was crazy amount. So we had to like source.
Take Amazon Prime.
No, that would have been worth the membership for sure. But no, they were great. I started talking to them, and then I looked at a couple of other ones, and then once I hired the consultant, unfortunately, like, I got into it and I was like, I do not know enough to build a climbing gym. I'm going to mess up in a big way. And so I hired the consultant out of Colorado, and Roy pretty much just like took bull by the horns and made the final call on Waltopia is where we're going. He did the entire hold order. And that's, I could not be happier that Waltopia ended up being the people that we went with.
How'd you find that guy? Google how to build a climbing gym? Or
Man, it was one of those, like I told you before, like open doors, Holy Spirit guidance. I don't know what you want to call it, but like it was one of those things where it just like appeared at the time that I really needed it. I had bought a tension board, and I had been training on the tension board for 24 hours of horseshoe. And when they shipped the tension board to me, I was going to assemble it myself because I'm cheap and I didn't want to pay someone to do it. So I was going to assemble it myself. Well, I got there and the tension board was messed up. The panels were incorrect. So I called Tension, and Roy, the consultant, is the guy who took my phone call. Bottom line, they messed it up in the factory. So they flew him out to location and he fixed it and assembled it on site. And that's how our friendship and relationship began. And I just thought he was like very knowledgeable, super cool. And anyway, a year later, a year after I'd gotten the tension board, I was like, would you be interested in helping me build out the rest of the gym? And he said that was like where he kind of wanted his career to go. So he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And kind of went from there.
Nice. So the tension board, that's, for some reason, every time I hear that, do they also make like small just hangboards?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. But you're talking about what I know is like a moon board, I guess another brand.
Yeah, it's another brand of a moon board. The difference is it's all wooden holds. Like tension boards, they do all wooden holds, which is way easier on your fingers. Like you don't rip your skin off as much. Really good training. The thing that I loved about tension was that it mirrors each side. So you can climb one route on one side of your body and then flip it and climb the exact same route on the other side. So you get like an even workout on both sides of your body.
And you bought that for your house?
I bought it actually for the gym. I had like a small Woody at the house that I had built, and it just wasn't great for training. It was just like a idea I had, and anyway, was better in concept than it was in reality. But when I knew like I was going to commit to a climbing gym, I was like, well, I know eventually I'm going to want a tension board, so I'm just going to buy it now so I can use it now, and then I can also have it in the gym when I have it in the gym. So that's when I ended up getting that.
So you already had the shop at that point?
Yeah. I had the shop whenever I bought that. Like we were remodeling the portion where my financial office is, and so the other half was like just a warehouse, and so I put the tension board into the warehouse in the wrong spot, and I had to move that, which that was kind of a nightmare. But anyway, yeah, I trained on that for like a year, and the tension board alone, that's the only climbing I did. Tension board alone took me from V4 to V7 outdoors in a year. It's that good of a training tool.
Would you say there's like a minimum criteria you need? Personally, I haven't even touched it in your gym yet. Just because there's an app, right? You have to download to sync up to it. Mm-hmm. Is there like a minimum level you should be climbing before you try that? What's the difficulty of the easiest route?
I mean, there's V0s on there. Like it's fully adjustable. I can go up to like -10 degrees down to like 60 degrees. So you could have like a slab route on there if you wanted to. There's V0s, but primarily like we climb basically everything at the 30-degree angle, and it's really hard to climb a route if you can't climb at least V2. Mm-hmm. Like everything feels 1 to 2 grades harder on the tension board because there's no friction since they're wooden holds. So it just feels hard.
And that's what you use to get you ready for hell.
Yeah, I would run laps on that thing for hours until I was just like sweating profusely like I do at the ranch. And it ended up being like the best year I had climbing during the comp.
Nice. How long have you been climbing for?
About 7 years ago is when I first walked into Hendrix, saw that climbing wall, and I was like, that looks cool. I'm going to see if I can find someone who knows what they're doing and see if they'll show me how to do this. And after that, I was pretty well hooked. More from the tribe than anything. Like, I love climbing. I love everything like outdoors, physical, get your heart rate up. But it was more like the group of people that I met through climbing that just got me like hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, it's really cool that now you're able to build the environment that gives other people that, right? So they can come in and meet their own tribe and, send them on their own adventures where they start getting outdoors for the first time and sending it. What are the future plans for the gym?
So Right now, my biggest focus is development of community. I feel like our walls are top quality, our holds are top quality, our route setting is actually pretty decent quality for having fairly new setters. Um, I want the community to get bolstered. Like I want to start having Gym to Crag. I want to have bouldering 101 classes. I want to have more like real rock movie nights. We just had one last week and had a great turnout. I had like 50 people there, and half of them were climbing, half of them were watching the movie, and it was sweet. It was really fun. I want to do more of that kind of stuff because I feel like that is where you actually develop a community. It's not so much just like here's boulder problems, come boulder by yourself. It's more like here's this group of people that are positive and encouraging and have similar interests and prioritize health and fitness. Like, here's your group of people. Have fun.
What is a Gym to Crag? I guess that's where you guys just all you meet up at the gym and then you ride together somewhere.
Yeah.
Where would you go for your first one?
There's probably Horseshoe just because it's the least intimidating. Like if you never climbed outside, go to Horseshoe Canyon Ranch. It's like very, very approachable. Everything's clean. And that's probably the first place. But there's actually a new place developed pretty close to Conway called the Whitcombs. I haven't even been there, but I've heard like there's like 60 something problems out there. So that would be a really good like day tripping kind of local place.
Nice. Do you know when you're going to start doing
this winter?
This winter?
Yeah, it's a little too warm still to be going outside, at least for me. So I want to wait till like maybe October, November, something like that, and then start getting out crash pads.
Nice. Yeah. I think that climbing, it means so many different things, so many different people. But to me, a big part of it was like, the friends, the community, the challenge. But I like to make videos. So me and my friends in the gym back at the wall, we would just film funny things and just have fun while we did it. And I think we had like a Facebook group set up. I don't know if you do, but I found that was, because once you start getting videos made, and that helps build the sense of community too.
Yeah.
You'll have like a Facebook group for the members, any way for them to connect outside of the gym?
So we were talking about that last week. We've got like a Facebook page, we've got like an Instagram page, but we were talking about creating like a members only page because eventually, fast forward 5 years down the road, I would love for Climb Conway to be a members only gym. Since it's 24/7 access, you can just come climb whenever you want, and you just grow organically by like, networking with the climbers who are already in there. So I think like a members only page will be coming very quickly.
Yeah, nice. Do you think Arkansas, how tapped out do you think it is? I've always been asking myself this question as far as outdoor.
I think we're at like, I don't know, 5% maybe.
Yeah.
Like I literally
it really
think,
is ridiculous how much potential there is out there.
It's crazy. And like you've been in a plane before, and I was a pilot years ago, and you can like fly over some of these places and you're like, oh, there's a crag, there's a crag, there's a crag. Like they're everywhere. There's so much climbing in Arkansas.
Yeah. The challenge, I guess, is I think 98% of Arkansan land is privately owned.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, there's still a lot on national forests that is out there for the picking. So don't be discouraged. If you want to go get some FAs, get some first ascents, go do it. But have you ever bolted or established problems outside or anything like that?
Not officially. I've been like with people who were doing that while I was also like climbing. Like I did like out at Mount Magazine. There was some friends who were bolting stuff, and they're like, "Hey, come get on this, see what you think about it." So I got to break off a few rocks and do some stuff like that. But I don't have the equipment. I'd like to sometime. I think that's a great way to give back to the community. I'd like to learn how. I just with 2 daughters and 2 businesses, the bandwidth isn't quite there at the moment.
Yeah. I bet the kids are going to grow up climbers. I bet they would have done that anyways if you had a Woody at home and whatnot.
Man, Gracie, my 6-year-old, is so strong for a 6-year-old. It's so awesome to see her climb in the gym, and her little biceps and triceps are like getting so defined. It's so cool. It's awesome. She's in there almost every day. Like she's in there climbing almost every day.
Yeah, I think I gave her a chalk bag one day, didn't I?
You did. She loves it. She uses it all the time.
Which one does she have?
The little fuzzy one. I think it's like purple or something. Has like a little monster
I don't
on
remember
it.
the name of it, but yeah, this is cool. My son's just turned 3. He hasn't climbed yet just because Yeah, I don't know. I need to just bite the bullet, get him a harness, get him a pair of shoes, and go take him out to D-Rock and top rope like the bottom section of a really easy route. Just the first 10 feet or so, see what he likes. Because it's definitely something good to grow up, get kids to grow up around. They learn so much about themselves, appreciation for nature, just all of it, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I think to me, like that was one of the biggest reasons why we opened the gym was I feel like Central Arkansas struggles in that. Like I feel like kids are getting handicapped by the habits they're forming when they're young, addicted to screens, addicted to food, addicted to couches. And if we can give like an alternative to kids to show them like there's a better way to do this, then I think the natural instinct is to do it. Like you bring a kid into a climbing gym, they know what it's about without you telling them. Like, oh, I'm supposed to climb that. Like, I think it's like a natural thing.
Mm-hmm. So for like a first-time climber, maybe they're a family, want to come out and climb in Conway. What are your rates? We can clip this. And
so our goal is to make it as affordable as possible. And so we try to get people in the door. Like if it's your first time coming, $12 a person gets you shoes and chalk bag, and you can come in, try it out. After that, the day pass rate goes up. But for a family, we try and make it to where like the first membership is $60, second membership is $50, and then everyone past that's like $35. So I really want it to be like a family oriented gym. We've got several families that come in there with like 4 or 5 people in the family, and they all climb. And I think that is the coolest part. Like I think that is what I want my family to look like. I think I want many, many families to follow suit because I think it is just a great way to connect as a family, and you're doing something good. You're doing something positive, and it's something that can lead to so much more. Like you take your family out camping, and then your family's camping outside and spending time together, and then your family's climbing together and building teamwork, and there's just so many positives to it.
100%. Did you meet your wife climbing or before?
No, I met her way back in high school, and she has not taken to climbing as I would have hoped, but she's a great gym manager.
Well, hey, I mean, it must be great if she was willing to get a gym with you, though.
Yeah, maybe a little arm twisting. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I knew at that point I was like, I know this is what I want, and Maura's great at organization, and everyone likes Maura. Like, there's nobody that I know that doesn't like Maura.
Yeah.
And if there is somebody, then I probably don't want to hang out with them.
How many staff do you have now besides Maura? She's like, there's Maura, and then there's another lady I've seen a couple of times. Forgive me, but I forgot her name. Wait, who is it?
So we've got Maura, then we've got Candy, we've got Dakota, Robbie, and Ethan, and then we just hired Kylie. She's a college student, and she's actually working the most hours right now.
Okay.
So we've got 5, excluding Maura.
Awesome. Shout out to all of them. I met Dakota. He's a nice guy. You said you had a route setter though, right, Nick?
Yeah, Nick. Okay, I he doesn't work like regular hours. Okay. He just comes in and I strip a wall, and then I say, these are the routes. Yeah. And then he comes in and does his magic for me.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing something really special in Conway, and I hope to see it grow and succeed even more. And everyone, I've encountered there, not just your staff, but I actually made friends with a guy there. I made friends with several people, but one guy actually ended up taking him climbing outside for his first time. I just saw him in the gym, and then he actually lives here in Russellville, so we've hung out several times. And it's been cool to because I don't know. Back when I first started learning, there were these people in my life, the Bendexes, the Wades that were teaching me to climb, and it's cool to now be able to do that for someone else. Take them out for the first time, show them the ropes, literally, and it's nice.
Yeah, I think that's like borderline almost as fun as getting into climbing is watching someone else experience how cool it is. Like, I love The Office, the show.
Yeah.
And watching it for the first time was awesome. And watching it for the 7th time was awesome. But what was really cool is when I got my best friend into it, and then I watched him watch The Office, and that was almost as fun because like I was getting to like vicariously experience it for the first time through him. Same with climbing. Like you get someone into it and you see their eyes light up and they get excited when they send their first route. They're like, oh, I can actually do this. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And push through the fear of falling, which, yeah, is still a thing in the bouldering gym. It's incredible, man. Is Maura as into the office as you are?
Yes. Although when it comes to trivia nights, I'm kind of the ringer. We just won one like a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I have a trivia question for you. This is one I've been to one office trivia night.
Okay.
I got this one wrong. I remember it specifically because now I know the answer. So in the dinner party episode, what was on Jan's bed?
Ooh, I guess I'd lose too.
So at one part in the dinner, the dinner party episode.
Yeah. Cringy.
I guess like it happens so fast, and I didn't know the answer. But like the door opens to the bedroom, and like it's either on the bed or maybe sitting in the room, but it's a camera.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now
I can't remember if it's on the bed or if it's on a tripod, but yeah.
Yeah. And then I think she like grabs it and moves it really fast whenever people walk in. Okay, yeah.
It's very easy to miss.
I do remember that. That is one episode I did not watch very many times because it make me sweat whenever I'm watching it.
Mine was Scott's Tots.
Ooh, yep.
Watched that one like once.
Yep. That's good. I brought you a present. Brought you some cards. They're free day passes, so you can use them all if you want to, or you can pass them out, bring a friend, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, might have to bring a few people climbing. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And yeah, for anyone listening that's on the fence about what climbing's all about, climb Conway. That's where to go.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. Just if you're looking for something new to experience, new to try, and you want it to be good for your body, mind, and soul, like give climbing a try. If it's not your cup of tea, you only spent $12. So